getting the community together to see what's out in the community for people and how the community can help what's out there for them. Thank you for tuning in tonight. The show can be viewed on jessfm.ca, Jess TV, or Jess FM on Facebook and on our app. Tonight, my guests are Amanda Simone. She is a single mother, a survivor, an entrepreneur, producer, host on Jess FM, a founder and designer of Vanity Lashes, an advocate for women, and the creator of the You Are Not Alone event for the YWCA Amethyst Project. I also have Tristan Burgess, an advocate against sexual assault and harassment, and the creator of the Facebook page Sexual Assault and Harassment Awareness Walk. Tonight on the show, we do really want to bring awareness to the seriousness of sexual assault harassment. And I just want to let you know, if you're tuning in tonight and you have any issues with that or any triggers that might bring about, we just want to let you know in advance that there will be in-depth conversation about that this evening. So, you guys, I just want to say thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And I just want to know if you can just let us know a little bit about yourself and what brought you about doing what you're doing. So, Amanda, you want to start?
Do you want me to start?
You bet.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Yeah, thank you so much. I was really honored to be a guest when I've been on guest and former Jess FM shows. I enjoy, and I think we all bring something. Thank you, Kathleen, for bringing me on here, especially when it comes to, educating the public, really talking about the real issues when it comes to the fight against sexual assault. Mm-hmm. And, people that know me, I'm an advocate for the Amethyst Project, and I was honored to meet this beautiful young lady with all this strength and desire to come on board and fight and educate the community, because it is, all about, it does not matter age, race, or anything,
No, it doesn't. So. And it just takes one voice to make a difference, and then when community comes together, we can make change. So that's what's really important here at this table. I'm so proud of that this evening. And just the fact that, anyways, Tristan, you can introduce yourself first before I say a few things about you and tell us about who you are and how you ended up here.
I just wanted to make a difference.
Yeah. Because you're young, right? You're only 16, so that's a huge thing for me when I saw your page on Facebook was, it's not easy for a young person to raise their voice, but yet you still have. That speaks volumes for so many people about sexual assault, but also just about how being your own person and being true to that is okay. Yeah. So that's really big also, right? So what brought you to really want to talk about sexual assault awareness, though? To make an actual page, something must have been so tugging at you.
Yeah, I've been through it, and I know so many other people that have been through it, and I just wanted to help other people with that.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you guys have nowhere to reach out?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, and what about at school? Is there a reach out place there for this, or?
There are counseling services that the school does offer, but not really.
Not really? And does it feel like maybe you can't go to those places because you're in school? I wonder sometimes if kids feel that way, if it's just too taboo or everybody will know kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So that's brave of you to start the group. So what is your group exactly about? Where is it, and who can access it?
Anybody can access it.
Okay. And it's just on Facebook?
Yes.
What's it called exactly?
Sexual Assault and Harassment Awareness Walk.
Okay. And is your wanting to have a walk?
Yes.
Okay. Have you got one started?
Not yet.
No? Okay. So what does that look like for you, a walk? Tell me what that looks like for you. What would you hope to see if we, I'm sure that Amanda herself and I know myself really want to help you get that walk going. And with a little bit of collaboration, that's probably something that could happen. So what would that look like for you if it did work out?
It would look like a lot of people standing up and speaking out.
Yeah, and a lot of maybe young people, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really good. We could get some people from the community who know because there are a lot of community resources for sexual assault and awareness. It's just sometimes we don't know about them. Amanda, I'm going to take that to you, actually. Could you give us some info on some sexual assault awareness places right here in the city?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, getting information from, you know, Woods Homes as well. They're very good about calling, because I know, you know, when you're at a certain age and, you know, whether you're younger and you were assaulted younger, you know, it kind of carries through, right? And there's very limited places that, you know, young teenagers can go, and it's a real traumatic thing having to come and, you know, get the resources and talk about it, without having to get into detail, right? And I think, you know, YWCA is a great example. You know, if you needed to call the Harbor House, there's crisis workers on site 24 hours there. Amethyst Project is 24 hours. People, doesn't matter your age or anything, accepts all genders, all ages and stuff like that. As well, you know, the Chinook Sexual Assault Center, there is youth groups that you can go to and get help, right? They have youth groups for victims of sexual violence. And,
Right.
yeah. So
The Amethyst Project itself, isn't it pretty special, because it actually helps? There's been so much, you get assaulted and you don't know how to deal with it, and then right away you're pushed to do something right away, and sometimes it's overwhelming. And I think the Amethyst Project is to help with this, isn't it?
So basically, the Amethyst Project is the third option. So unfortunately, sometimes not all cases go to the hospital, right, where you're provided that medical care. Sometimes you need crisis workers like the Amethyst Project to come and give that third option and take a kit to where these people are, and they have 72 hours to take evidence. After that, you have a year to hold on to that evidence, and that's that hope and that justice that they have. You know, not every situation is the same. You know, I get questions constantly. You know, I'm starting a women's group, support group. I get questions constantly. Well, doesn't you know, the hospital have them? So you think every victim goes to the hospital. This is what people aren't educated, right? Because, you know, we all come from different circumstances of sexual assault, sexual violence, and sexual harassment. Sexual harassment in the workplace and school is higher than most, especially these days. You know, I'm really happy to say that, you know, the Amethyst Project, I was one of their first clients in 2016. And before that, there was the Sexual Assault Center in the train. You know, but it's different now. The laws have changed. And, you know, if you see that purple box, please share it. It's a reminder that something just happened here in Lethbridge, and prayers and thoughts. I think it's really important, and I think it's major what you're doing, especially at your age, because that's a guiding light. That's opening the door and moving past that trauma and working through opening the door and being there for others. And one thing that I said was like, I might be ahead of you, but I will walk back and stand by you.
Yes.
Right? And that's what you're doing. And, you know, we all heal. I still heal. I was assaulted 3 times, a victim of child molestation, you know, and these things, and this stuff happens. For the longest time, it was really hard. And then when I started writing, and it was a really big therapy for me, right?
Yeah.
And Amethyst
Yeah.
Project
Yeah,
comes
it
out with
is.
books, and they come out with, you know, they're great connections.
Actually, I think that after us, you know, because Tristan, you said that, you know, you've been through some stuff yourself and friends, and I know that feeling from when I was younger. I've been through some bad things, and it isn't until we raise our voice and talk about it that we actually get better. So some of us have waited till we're past 30 to deal with trauma, or to deal with these things, or to feel like, hey, it's okay to have a voice. You're only 16, girl. You can make some serious change.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I think it's really important also, just because maybe the next time your friend comes to you, or another friend of your friends comes to you, maybe you guys won't be so quiet next time. Maybe somebody will say, no, I'm going to say this happened to me, and it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay.
And if I may say, now there's too much more exposure at 16 years old than there was at 16 years old for myself. That's including drugs, street life. I was 13, grew up on the streets at 13 years old. And there's more exposure to predatory things, especially online. Being a young lady in high school, the boys, too much media, too much social media, thinking, how their behavior, even females, how some of the young 16-year-old girls' behavior, it's a vice versa. It's not just the boys, but there's more at risk for sexual harassment in a high school than there was before. Online especially, because people are going to expose themselves as someone different. You think you're talking to a 16-year-old boy, and then it's actually a 58-year-old man, trying to drive you and get you hop on your plane and kidnap you.
These
right?
are real things.
These are real things.
This is real.
I went missing for 3 years, right? These are real things, and for you to stand strong and get your group now and get your solid support of older women that fight for the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we all got to fight for the same thing and speak out. Again, if you're hurting in any way, if you've been sexually assaulted, harassed, if it's happened from a long time ago, if it happened today, if it happens in the next time to come and you don't know where to go, please reach out to any three of us. Tristan Burgess on her Facebook page, she'll figure it out. She'll reach out to people. She'll find you a spot. Amanda Simone on her page on Facebook, she'll also help you. Awareness Hour will help you. I'm part of a nonprofit group, Bikers Building Bridges here in Lethbridge for youth at risk. We will help you. You can just check us up on Facebook. We have a phone number, everything. We're just waiting to be able to help somebody. So just know that there's lots of supports out there. Don't feel alone. And remember, #MeToo. It's really not that taboo, guys. It's okay to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be starting the first Southern Alberta Women's Empowerment Support Group. I'm working on that page, and all ages.
Yeah, I was
It's
just
going
gonna
to
say
be,
women's and girls,
and I think it's going to be a positive support group where other women know resources so we can help each other, right? And, I'm part of the ATB Entrepreneur Center too,
Right.
Things like that. And we're more than happy to, get on the bridge with Bikers Building Bridges and, make a difference.
We gotta all make a difference,
Yeah.
for sure. So Amanda,
Mm-hmm.
you have a big event coming up.
Whew.
Huge event called You Are Not Alone.
Yeah.
And it's just so important that
Yeah.
we discuss it because
I never
it is
expected.
for what we are talking about.
Absolutely.
And it's about community collaboration.
Absolutely.
How it can all come together to actually raise awareness, to raise funds, to raise partnerships, I don't know, to spread some love and hope around, and I just think it's so amazing. So you got to tell me all about this You Are Not Alone event.
It's been my blood and sweat. Love you.
You
It's
are
been
not
my blood
alone.
and sweat for 4 months. I've sacrificed a lot of things in my life, and including time with my son, and building my business and stuff. And many times, like I said in my show, I felt alone. Trying to recover from trauma. Go sit down, please. Sorry, my son's here. Recovering from trauma and stuff. And I felt alone. And I was like, I want to say it, you are not alone. And we're not. But, we feel so alone in a dark place when we've been victimized, right? And we're
Yes,
trying to
we
heal. And so I just came up with this idea. And then I just started walking and
Yeah,
going
you
to
did.
people. And it was my life for 4 months, getting sponsors and sharing my story and, doing the Just FM show and putting myself out there in the boxing ring because I was ready at 40 years old, right? And
She put
then,
herself in the boxing ring for everyone else because it is for her because it brings her growth, but her growth is pretty much already done. So in reality, this is for other people. This is to bring growth to other people, and it's a legacy that that you're leaving.
yeah.
It's going to be great. It's so great.
I do live ons and stuff through this journey and going in and after doing Celebrate Downtown and doing my videos and stuff. And it's interesting. I wanted to touch base. This is how much the word and You're Not Alone event spread because I honestly didn't know if it was going to work out. There was times I wanted to quit. Just like when you go through I want to quit. And when you're not ready to open up and get counseling and these things, right? And I'm like, no, I want to quit because my PTSD and the mental health took over in my doubt because I was victimized here, right? Mental abuse, emotional abuse, things like this. I left domestic violence so many times. I grew up like that. And I was like, no, I'm not alone. And there's people here, right? And this is a word too, you're not alone. And then I just started building, and I just want to give a shout out to We Are Robots and DJ TKO, because I've been friends with Roberto Turn One for a long time, and he knew my story and things that I was getting out of. And I'm like, please come. And he's like, let's do this. Let's bring
and
this.
it brings a big thing. Like, I mean,
Huge.
he's jumping in to be part of sexual assault and awareness, and it shows, people in music, they care too, and they can be part of something too, and they can give back too. Don't underestimate. We can all be part of it.
Like Catwalk, Drunken Sailor.
Yes.
I have Bridge Bud Supply. I have Bridge City Barbers. I have Plum. I have Stella. Like, these people are coming
Kimberly,
together.
photography,
Cat Panic. I have now Jocelyn Marie coming to do and then I have streaming. I have Clara Petalou and yourself being my MCs.
Yes.
Everybody come and support them as well.
I'm
And
so
I love
excited
these
about
girls.
that.
And
be amped up emceeing over at this event. It's so exciting, and just lots to be excited for.
And you're making history. I'm making history, and it's going to be filmed. I'm getting those people to do it live. It's history. It's history in the making in Lethbridge, and it's going to be every year, and it's not going to stop. And I can't wait. And Hudson's, I love you guys, Jesse Dixon and that crew. Seriously, they're going all out, and that whole place is going to be. For You're Not Alone, we're all coming together. A rape kit is $650 in the province of Alberta, and they won't give extra funding, so the third option can be available. So that's what Amethyst Project does. That's where my money's going to go, to give them all of our money, all the community, anybody who wants to donate.
Yes, and that's I guess that's the next thing we can talk about is obviously there's people in the community who can donate, or who might be sitting here right now watching this going, well, how can I help out for sexual assault and awareness? Well, you can reach out to Amanda. You can reach out to Awareness Hour, and I will get all the info for you also, because in an event like this, there's always donations needed. There's donations of help, time, money, product, all those types of things. So please, if you can help, do reach out. And
it's going to be
it's
epic.
also $20 a ticket to get in. You can get a ticket from me and get a ticket from Amanda
at the
Simone
door as well.
At the door. At Bridge Bud Supply, Catwalk,
Drunken Sailor, and Bridge City Barbers. My phone number as well.
Yeah. So
tickets are going fast.
Yeah, and this ticket is only $20. All proceeds go to the Amethyst Project, but yet you still get a free drink and access to a poutine bar.
Right.
I know everybody says poutine, but I'm sorry, it's poutine.
Yeah.
So poutine bar.
Yeah. There's going to be
it's
VIP.
It's going to be delicious. Great music. Lots of fun, and lashes. Don't forget that you can
Cat
buy
Panic
your lashes.
will be putting them on and sizing them.
That's right.
My cousin Haymay, she's bringing Amethyst jewelry to sell. Fabitan's gonna be there. Like, it's gonna be full blown party.
Bridges is coming. Yeah. It's a real party. I just think it's gonna be great.
LEMF is gonna come. DJ Treatso is gonna come, and people are coming together. Heart of the city.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out. On walking my way here, I get a call from Lean Mean from the Fight Club.
Yes.
And he's going to be one of their sponsors.
Oh, okay. They're really good. They, my president of Bikers Building Bridges is part of that club, and they're always ready to help out this community.
Absolutely. So please come out. It is open to the public. You can purchase tickets there. There's going to be a red carpet area. Please come out. Dress your best. Don't hold back. Come celebrate life. Come pray for the victims. And come see us.
Saturday the 27th at Hudson's, 8 p.m. Do not be late, guys.
No. There's going to be a lineup.
There's people speaking at this event, and you don't want to miss what they have to say.
Yeah, so. Jen Lipko will be talking at 8:30, and then you guys are going to be on. Come check us out.
So great, So I guess, Tristan, that can also come back to you on the fact of just listening to us for the last 10 minutes. Just look about how much support that there is. Yeah. So you were right to start your group. You were right to be not okay with what was going on, right? And you can see that Lethbridge is full of a lot of support. But there's just never enough supports, and I think what it really comes down to is never enough education on the supports, so we just don't know.
Yeah.
And then when we don't know, we're ignorant, and that's what happens, eh?
Yeah, people fear what they don't know, and I've said that before. People fear what they don't know, and they're scared to ask questions and step forward and say they need help. And I think that's one of the biggest things, right? You know, and a lot of people closing doors. People don't want to educate themselves because also, too, at the same time, like, who knows what kind of trauma. They're not ready to hear someone else's story, and it's okay. It's okay because there's 10 others that are ready to hear your story, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a very good point. Yeah. So, the importance of speaking out, Tristan. Do you want to say anything about that, just to the people of your age group who maybe still are scared of speaking out?
Yeah.
What can
don't
you
speak
say?
out, nobody will hear what you have to say, and you can't make a change if you don't speak out.
Right. So, would you tell them to just do it in fear, anyways? That's
Yeah.
a sentence us old people say all the time. Do it in fear, anyways. And I think it's important that we know to do it in fear. We have to. There's a lot of things in our life that are scary and feel overwhelming or feel like you can't take the next step. But once you do take the next step, you will see the growth. You will feel it. This year I went through last year I went through a really hard year in my life. And for the first time I was brought to the awareness of a phoenix and what it means, and I loved it so much I got it tattooed on my arm. And it's just because it's about, you know, even though you have to die sometimes in the inside, you can still rise, and that is the truth. You can always rise. And just remember that even through everything that you may have been going through in your life, that it doesn't define you. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it controlled my life for so long, and then when you're re-victimized, it takes longer, right? And being in toxic relationships and everything. So yeah, definitely.
But that's the pattern that
Yeah.
happens. It's so then you end up in these toxic things, and then you start feeling guilty because you've done that, right? Isn't this a real thing, you know? And do you guys go through this at a young age also, Tristan?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's relationships, what's it like? I mean, must be so different these days, I wonder.
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
Confusing, yeah. Do you feel safe out there right now?
Not really.
No. How's a party? What's that like?
I've never been to one.
No,
So I
just
don't feel safe going.
you don't feel safe. No. Yeah. Do you think we're having a big drug issue?
Yes.
Just personally, I know that we can't speak for all of everybody or anything, but just a personal opinion, yes. Yeah, I'm really thinking we are too. Anybody who may be going through that this evening, also remember that Lethbridge has a lot of help for people who could be going through any kind of drug addiction. You don't need to be stuck where you are. Do not let drugs define you. Please step out of it. Please step forth. Please ask for help. It's there, and this too can pass if you need it to.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, Lethbridge Living Magazine.
Yeah, I was in April's issue, like people have seen, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it was a really life-changing moment.
Yes.
I think Melissa gave me the opportunity to, you know, tell my story and bring hope and light into that there is.
Right. Can you talk to me about, we're telling people, tell your story, but nowhere are we telling people what it's going to feel like when you do tell your story, though, because that's not a fun moment. Trauma, when brought alive, is still so real, like the day it happened. It's such a real feeling. It's such a real pain that you go through. I just wonder if we should talk a little bit about the darkness of talking about things or dealing with them, but then also end with what comes out, the light at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, especially when you're ready to tell your story, or you go to like multiple counselors, or, you know, things like this, from the time of your assault, sometimes you're bombarded with questions and people wanted you to talk about it. And I think sometimes it's a time and place. when you're ready to talk about it.
That is a true thing.
It's a time and place. It can't be forced. It can't, like, my last year was not in a good place too, right? And, come Christmas time, it changes, right? I woke up in the morning, it was just different. And I think, our self-discovery, our self-love, our self-worth, putting up your boundaries and limitations to friendships and things like this. You need to do that. If you need to be by yourself and self-heal and just surround yourself with people that are supportive, not overbearing, and then when you're ready to talk about it, you're ready to talk about it, and you won't have your triggers anymore. But it was hard for me. It was emotional because someone finally wanted to hear my story without closing the door on me, right? Or these things that I suffered from. I didn't have opportunities like some at your age. I was already kidnapped at 16, right? And then not able to talk and not have a voice for so long, and now I got lots to say, don't I, Kathleen?
Yeah, and that also comes down to where we'll say the simple thing of, it is hard to believe sometimes, but maybe it is all for a reason. No, it isn't good that Amanda had to go through what Amanda had to go through, but now Amanda gets to help the next person, and maybe that next young girl isn't going to go through that, and we do need those people. And myself too, I just have dealt with so much abuse, mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally in my lifetime, and I never want to just take it back, really. I used to feel that way, but now I just feel like, no, but it is who I am, though, and I'm so strong, and I love who I am, and I love my empathy that I've gained from learning how to love myself through such things, right?
Yeah, we still struggle. I struggle with things. I suffer from mental illness and stuff, and doing things and having a balance in your life is really important. Taking care of your mental health is important. It's really important. I put it under the rug for so long with every assault because I had no time to heal. I had no time. I was living on the streets like, oh, I got assaulted. Okay. Well, but I suffered, right? I suffered for many, 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 many years. And for me to be here is a miracle, and I'm here for a purpose, and I discovered that. Just like you're going to discover what you're here for, right? And then starting that awareness walk is important. This is why you're here, right?
So for old ladies like us, it's just a really bright light to see you doing that, Tristan. And I
really
just
positive.
think it's important that you're supported and you're told, that it matters and it's good. And we'll talk more about it after the show, obviously, and as time goes. But I really want to help you get your stuff going, and let's get a walk going. And it's getting beautiful, and there's lots of great places to do it. So we'll meet up and we'll make it all happen. So Amanda's talking about therapy, and I think that she mentioned that, and it's such an important thing. Sometimes we forget, because if you've been through trauma, then most likely you're going through maybe some mental health issues, unfortunately, because it does things to us. You could even have chemical imbalances from the lifestyle you've been put into, or from your genes, things like that. So when we don't deal with that, then it just stays stagnant and torments us. So I felt the same way. I had to do my trauma therapy before I ever actually dealt with my PTSD and all of my past issues. And I just want to shout out to a couple therapists in Lethbridge that I personally know of, that I think I'd like other people to know about, because they deal with trauma therapy, and one of them deals with trauma therapy with animals also. So it's a special way to get that help. So Blue Rain Ranch and Assisted Animal Therapy, they're just out of Fort McLeod, and they are amazing. Marvin Vandenhoek is the counselor there, and there's probably others. It's a family-based business, and they are really good at dealing with trauma, and that's not something every counselor can help you with. You could see 12 counselors before you find one who actually understands trauma and the reality of dealing with it. So I just want to, again, Blue Rain Ranch Assisted Animal Therapy and Counseling. Also, I had a guest named Chelsea King from Core Elements Counseling. She also deals with trauma. So just a couple, outlets if you're looking for somebody that you can get some help from. Animal assisted therapy is with horses and animals, and it really helps people with trauma to deal with trust, because we lose that, don't we?
Absolutely. It's a constant battle, right? We're constantly working on trust, especially when it's been taken away so much, right?
That's right.
And I don't know, for as much as my trust has been lost many times, I still seem to open my heart and until you prove me wrong scenario, and I put myself at risk. But what if there's that one person where I'm going to be proven right? So.
That's right. We can always sit around and wonder, if I do that, am I going to get hurt? If I do this, am I going to get hurt?
Barriers.
Or we can actually do something, right? Bikers Building Bridges picks up needles. And when we first started, it was just such an epidemic in the city, and everybody was talking about it, and we didn't know how to deal with it, and some of us were so scared, and then once you stepped out and did it anyways, you realized it felt really good. It always feels good. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So we are Robots and DJ TKO. Where are they from?
They're from Calgary. Their regular shows is at Habitat Sound Living, but they're actually all over the place. They travel a lot. They've worked with some of the biggest DJs in Canada, and I'm really excited. They're going to be exposing their new music as well, and I'm really excited. I can't wait till people hear their stuff. Yeah, they bring such a great energy, positive vibes and everything. The place to go this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to knock anywhere else to go, but Hudson's is going to be the place to go.
Yes,
you better line up because there's going to be a huge line. 263 capacity at Hudson's. Let's get it filled.
Yeah, and we're going to be the best dressed in town, so I wouldn't want to miss looking at that, right?
Yeah, I have, Miss Asia Ambassador coming.
Right.
I have a whole bunch.
Ladies of Vanity Lash.
Yeah,
will
Ladies
be
of
there.
Vanity Lash, Ladies of Vanity Entertainment. Some of them. Some of the
Yes.
girls can't make it, but
Mm-hmm.
from Calgary. But yeah, models galore.
Yeah.
Pageant girls and models galore. Hi, girls. Love you. Thanks for all your support. We actually started a support when you start a group chat on Messenger. That would be a great thing for you to start too for other young females and. Start a group just for that support of saying good morning and things like that, a safe place for them. Yeah. That's what I started doing, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. It makes
Make your own little community
yeah.
of survivors
See
and
how much
stuff.
you can grow
Yeah.
and learn about yourself
Exactly.
and heal from whatever's been, that you've had to go through in your lifetime or will have to go through, right? Because unfortunately, the hard things and the hard times don't really end. And that's why we need to know that they come, but they go. Sometimes we forget that, and then depression gets in, and we get so down and so negative because it's just so much, right? But this too shall pass, as cliche as it is. And
Yeah.
it does. I'm 37, Amanda, you're 40, and it has always passed, hasn't it? The hard and the good, it always comes and goes.
It goes
It's
in waves, just like life. It's like the circle of life, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes people chew us up and regurgitate us, but then we grow again in the soil, and
Yeah.
and here we are, blooming flowers again,
Yeah, and
right?
then we rise again.
And we rise again.
I just don't think I knew that at 16. I don't think I really grasped it. And sometimes we hear it from our family. We hear it from our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our main family, but we don't really listen. But we're just old ladies, and we're telling you, it's true. It comes and it goes, and it's okay. So don't let the negative ever really just take over. Always try to be that positive self that you are, and it'll resonate to everybody else. It's like light. So, I don't know, we're probably halfway through here or something. I'm not quite sure, but I should probably shout out to the guests that are to the viewers that are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening on a Awareness Hour with Kathleen. You can watch us on Jess FM, jessfm.ca, on Facebook, and on our app. Together, we're just trying to raise awareness for sexual assault and harassment. Amanda, aren't you involved with some other events coming up also? Like, what's
Oh my
going
gosh.
on after You
Okay.
Are Not Alone? There must be more.
I have your event, and then
Right.
I'm a sponsor for Miss Asia Ambassador for her sponsorship in Calgary, and then I'm a sponsor for Miss Canada for this coming thing, and then I have my other my official launch for Strong and Fierce. I decided will be in August.
So
I'm
what's
putting it
that?
up.
What's the official launch of the Strong and Fierce?
My official launch is I'm going to have an eyelash fashion show. I don't want to say anything, but I'm organizing a fashion show festival, empowerment festival for women. And people know that I'm already coming to their doors and knocking on it. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And I'm actually going to go get a part-time job.
Okay.
Yeah, and work on my business at the same time, do these fashion shows, and do my other stuff and continue being an advocate for the Avis Project. And I have the Women's Conference in May 16th.
Right, that's a big thing coming up. That's true.
Yeah, I'll be speaking at that.
And you're speaking about what you wrote in the Living.
Yeah, I'll be speaking about that. I'll be speaking about, because I'm part of the ATB Entrepreneur program at ATB, and Pink Tie Events and YWCA are hosting the Women's Conference. And check out your tickets. It's a great day of great keynote speakers, meeting local women in business. It's at the Coast Hotel, so you can go online, and it's May 16th, and then I'll be speaking at the other one in the fall time. So.
Okay. And is this for people in the community or just for people who own a business?
No, this is for any women or lady that would like to go in, and it's about transitions with family, transitions with jobs, just transition in business and who you are. And I think it's a great opportunity to come meet other local women that support and empower others.
Yes, yeah. And it's little events like that where you do get to make those contacts and those things. So for yourself, if you start getting on Facebook, you'll just start to see all these little places that you can go and be part of, because you're not just Tristan Burgess now. You're Tristan Burgess, who runs Sexual Assault Awareness Walk page. So now you're able to show up at places and talk about who you are and what you're about, and get other people to nab on to your cause. And then before you know it, who knows what Tristan Burgess has going on. I can't wait to see anyways myself.
I know.
It's exciting. I love watching young people grow. It's so much fun. What else do we want to talk about? So Tristan, what you go to Victoria Park, right? Okay, and you don't party because it's too scary, because you can't trust anybody, and I just find that really sad that that's where we're at. I remember that when I was young, that's what we did. We went out, we had big gatherings all the time. There was never anybody around. We were always in the bush somewhere. Do you remember this?
The Old Man River, building fires.
Being in the bush, having huge fires, and I've been asking lots of kids, like, what do you do? What do you do? And I just never ever hear that anymore, and it just seems strange to me. Or we used to play kick the can in the street too, hey?
I wish I could say that I had opportunities to kick the can and stuff, right? You know,
Yeah.
started being homeless at 13. I was kicking the can, but down alleys looking for change, right?
Yeah.
But when I went and I moved back and stuff, I did things, down on the river bottom building a fire. You know, those kind of things.
It's just the world's changed, I feel.
It has.
It's just
You know,
getting a
things
bit
aren't safe
darker or
anymore.
something. I'm not sure what's going on, but
Drugs, people putting things in your drinks, you know, all
Yeah.
that fun stuff, you know.
I think
it's-
drugs are a problem. And drugs also cause a problem for sexual assault and harassment. All of a sudden, you're not thinking straight. I am not making excuses for anybody who has had a drink or a drug or marijuana or anything along those lines, why you would act that way. But sometimes it gives people this thought that they can, I feel, and that's not a good thing. Hey, anyone out there, just in case you didn't know, if someone's passed out and they can't tell you that they want to do that with you, then it's probably a big friggin' no. Just in case you didn't know. Seems to be the story. Well, I thought it was okay. It's never okay to take advantage of someone else in any way. Just a shout out to anybody who might not know that. So, You Are Not Alone event, one more time. Tickets are $20, You can get them through Amanda Simone. You can call, reach out to Awareness Hour. They'll be at the door. What businesses are selling them, Amanda?
Drunken Sailor, Catwalk, Bridge Bud Supply, and Bridge City Barbers. And also to check them out, check what services.
Yes.
They're a big part of our community. You know, entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. Bridge Bud Supply was best of the best this year. You know, Catwalk, like all of them have done great things for this community.
It's true.
Yeah.
Drunken
Drunken Sailor as well.
$20, get you a free drink and part of a poutine bar. You can also get them at the door, so don't feel like you can't make it if Saturday comes and all of a sudden you're free. No, you can make it. 8 p.m., best place to be in Lethbridge, Hudson's Pub. Man, Hudson's is always doing their best to team up with people in the community.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Bikers Building Bridges might have to go talk to them, or some of your great sponsorship are going on. Jeez,
Be a great night of networking.
it's unreal how I just really find Lethbridge good for that, just trying to connect
Supporting
with each other. We do want to be a family.
Absolutely.
We are a city, but we are still close-knit, I think, and that's such a good thing to be part of. So, one other thing I'll just shout out to that's coming up right away. Amanda is going to be part of it, and she's coming
Yeah.
to the Mama-Palooza, which Bikers Building Bridges
I'm excited.
is putting on with the Interfaith Food Bank. Tristan, I really hope you come out because it's for moms and their kids, and that's from young and older. We always got to show love and support to our mothers. It's on May 11th. It's from 10 to 4 at the Interfaith Food Bank Community Kitchen at 1103 3rd Avenue North, Lethbridge. It's going to be fun, activities, food, making memories, and getting to know some community partners. Just having a great day together.
Yeah, thanks for
So-
the shout out to Bikers Building Bridges today, coming out and supporting my fundraiser.
Yeah, they are coming to support your fundraiser.
I'm excited.
Because just like Tristan's here, she's young, and we're for people who are young. And sometimes I wonder if we realize how much these kids are really dealing with. I know I have a 20-year-old. I probably have no idea what she's dealing with. I have a 15-year-old. I probably have no idea what they're dealing with. So it's pretty important as a mother that there are community resources and advocates that people can reach out to, because not always can your children come to you.
No.
But they might be able to come to Miss Simone. They might be able to come to Tristan Burgess, though. They might be able to come to Christine Cassie at the Sexual Assault Awareness Clinic, you know, and those are the things that make a difference. So anyways, I really thank you girls for coming in today. I feel like
you.
we've gotten a lot of awareness out, and it's important. Is there any last words you want to leave the viewers with this evening? Just a last...
I don't know. You got me off guard.
sorry.
Usually I have a good
Yeah, you
line
do.
and
I was
stuff.
expecting something awesome to come out right
I
there.
know,
That's
right?
weird.
That was like 100%
We wanna
awesome
leave
until
these
then.
people with something that they can
You're not
just-
alone. You're not
Yeah.
alone. There is resources. Don't ever feel like you can't reach out. If you have problems reaching out, there is crisis line. Please look up the YWCA Amethyst Project. They have a 1-800 crisis number. Please check her journey out and her walkness awareness and the dates. When is the dates? I would like to know. Like,
We don't have one,
No.
right? Because
Okay.
she just started and
Okay,
she's
sorry.
alone.
Okay.
But
Oh, well,
she's
you're
not
not alone
alone.
anymore.
That's
Wow. See, how did that well work out?
Yeah, yeah.
We're high-fiving
Come
it
on,
there,
we're
sister.
all doing it. Like, really? That
Right?
was awesome.
I know.
Yeah, you were not alone. So,
Bam.
but you see, that little voice, it brought something out. Ooh, just now look. Oh, it's so exciting. I love every second of it.
Sweet.
Anything you want to leave people with? No.
Just keep an eye out for your journey.
Yeah. Just keep
Yeah.
it out and speak out for
Watch out for the
changing
dates.
yourself, and watch out for the dates. Get on Facebook, like all our pages. Come on, we all have great events going
Right.
on and stuff going on for the community. How could you not like our pages?
You might need to come out with a petition asking the Alberta government to fund third option rape kits for these assault centers,
Yeah.
so they don't have to always have to go to the hospital and be put in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, we have no problem funding other things for other situations.
Right.
So we should be able to help out sexual assault.
Yeah, $650 to someone's hope of justice.
That's not okay.
Yep.
So myself, I'm going to leave you with a little message, which is be brave, be strong, and always know that you're enough, because you are. No matter if you're feeling like you're not, you're enough. And please just know whatever's happened to you does not make you who you are. Okay? It's just a
not
part
your
of you,
fault.
and it actually makes you stronger. So be strong, be bold, rise up. Say it as it is. Okay, next week on Awareness Hour, please tune in. I have Amanda Scout from the Native Counseling Services, and hopefully from the someone from the Native Friendship Center. I am really excited about this because I want to raise awareness for Indigenous supports. It was crazy to me how I tried to find some Indigenous supports for my Bikers Building Bridges event, and it was so hard to find, and that's why awareness needs to happen. Indigenous support is
Absolutely.
very, very important. So let's tune into Awareness Hour next week, and let's open up communication. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. I apologize for my son.